Hello, everybody. My name is Delinda, and this video is going to tell you about my journey so far as a bariatric patient. Now, I had my surgery on April 29th, 24, and so I'm a newbie. I'm only 2.5 weeks out, and Monday will be 3 weeks. So, anyway, let me first tell you why I did it. Um, I had always had a weight problem, always wanted to lose weight and everything. And believe me, I've done everything under the sun to lose weight, but sometimes successful and sometimes not. But it was always slow. And I had thought about bariatric surgery, but it's a big deal. So I didn't. And then I got older. I know I had gone to a couple of orientations and also the cost, my insurance didn't cover it. But I got older, and at 65, I got on Medicare. And because I passed the criteria, they paid for it. Blessing. But also, the problem was why I decided to have it is not for my looks or to look good and physically, but to be healthier. I was on 13 meds. I They were for either blood pressure or diabetes and thyroid. And so I knew that I had to do something. Between the weight and 2 knee replacements, I was becoming immobile to where I had to have help up to a curb, to step up onto a curb, and was not steady on my feet. And it was time something needed done because I got some living to do, some traveling to do, and I want to be able to do it and do it feeling good. So I decided to have the sleeve. Now, the sleeve is where they take 80% of your stomach and cut it away, and then you're left with just a tube. And so you can't eat as much and all that. Well, whenever I went to my final appointment, I found out that the insurance company had decided that I needed the modified duodenal switch, which is a step above that. Now, what that is that they still do the sleeve and cut away the stomach, but then they bypass 50% of your small intestine so that it leaves enough intestine to absorb your vitamins and absorb your nutrients, but it also uh, makes it smaller too. That really helps in your weight loss and keeping it off. So now, here we go. What have I been through since I made the decision and had got my surgery scheduled on April 29th? 1 week before, I had to drink 1 ounce of protein drinks. No, I'm sorry. I had to have a 8-ounce glass of protein drink for breakfast and a 8-ounce glass of protein drink for lunch. And for dinner, for the week before surgery, I could have a lean protein and non-starchy vegetables for dinner. So, y'all, that was kind of a breeze. I mean, I'm working, I'm doing, and I can drink a drink. I mean, I was still drinking like normal then. And so that was fine. That was just fine. The day before surgery, you actually have to fast. Well, a clear liquid. If you've had a colonoscopy, you know how you have to have clear liquids before surgery. And it was the same as that. I had to have a colonoscopy before that. Let me tell you all that too. Before I got qualified for the insurance to pay, I was sent through the ringer. I had to go to my regular, started out with my regular doctor. And then the next step, I think, was the gastrologist who did an upper and a colonoscopy, and that had to come back okay. I had to have, I had to go to a cardiologist who had to okay it. She only okayed it if I had a stress test. So I had to have a stress test, and that came back okay. I had to see dietitians, and I had like 3 appointments with dietitians, I think, before I went. And then the last thing was the psych eval to see if I psychologically knew what I was doing. But anyway, I passed that. But I mean, it's just not you just go jump into something. There's a process. So then came the day of surgery, and you guys, it was a success. I woke up, no pain pills needed, not even Tylenol. I had 6 incisions that were laparoscopic, and never bothered me. I don't even know if I've really found them. I haven't really looked at them, but they've looked at them and they're fine. Um, but you guys, it was so easy as far as the surgery went, and never was nauseous. I had dreaded because everybody's different and everybody responds differently to this stuff. Um, but like I said, I told my doctor today I felt like your poster child because everything just clicked and went great. And so I was just thrilled with the success of the surgery. But then comes living with it. So the first week, no, first 2 weeks, and you'll just have to imagine this. I had 5 1 ounce little plastic cups, like they bring you your meds in the hospital, in those little bitty plastic cups. I would have 5 of those lined up, and 3 of them held water, and 2 held protein drink. And we were supposed to take an hour to drink those 5 cups. So it's just like sipping on those little bitty cups. And you do that 12 times a day because your stomach can't drink yet really good. You can just take little sips. So basically, that consumed my whole 2 weeks, was sipping on the little ounce things, watching the thing, and then going and lining them up again and try and marking them off on my little chart that I had done, my little round of shots. The protein drinks were not bad, but I was having some problems with loose bowels, so I called the doctor and she said change to Fairlife milk, the lactose free. And so I did that, and didn't really help. So on the other issue, so it got to where they wanted me to do just water, and let me tell you, it's hard. There was one protein powder I love called iced cappuccino, as far as flavor, and the other 2 were just too sweet, and they took 2 scoops. Don't ever get the ones with 2 scoops because it makes them too thick for me anyway. So, but I used the unflavored, 1 scoop of unflavored a lot because I could put it in my coffee, which I couldn't do coffee the first 2 weeks, but anyway, I could put it in Crystal Light or something like that, sugar free. So anyway, so I did my 2 weeks, and like I said, everything was going good except maybe some loose stools. I did have, y'all don't want to know about it, but I was constipated the first couple of days. And then after that, it's and so they kept thinking it was milk thing because I was mixing skim milk with everything and then went to Fairlife and it really didn't change things. So anyway, everything was hunky dory and my the 2 week anniversary was going to be Monday, and then I could go on soft food stage 3. On Mother's Day, I got up and I couldn't walk from one room to another without being out of breath. I was just so tired feeling. And Van said, "Have you taken your blood pressure?" And I said, "Oh, I haven't." So I took it and it was like 84/46. And so then we got desperate looking for different cuffs in the house to see if we were getting error messages. And so we went to a pharmacist and had her take my blood pressure. And she got it to where it was in the like 59 on the bottom and like in the 90s on top. And so I thought, okay, well, I've got a doctor's appointment in 2 days. I'm just going to, take it easy. But it was a great concern. So then I went, I started my soft foods on Monday. That sounds exciting, doesn't it? After being on the protein drinks. It amounted to, it has to be soft. So it amounted to like yogurt. I had cottage cheese. Van fixed me an omelet with cheese one day with one egg, and I could eat like half of it. That's the most I've had eaten of anything. You can only eat a few bites, you're full, and you have to stop. And that seems unreal in most people's minds that you really are full. But you also still have to get your protein in. And so you're keeping a log. You've got to have almost 80 grams of protein a day. Well, if you take an egg that's 13 grams and you don't even eat a little of it, I was still having to do protein drinks to supplement to get to my 80 grams. Plus, you have to drink 64, at least 64 fluid ounces of liquid a day. So even though I was off the 5 cups with things, here's another problem. You have to wait 30 minutes before you try to eat something with no water. Then you cannot have water while you're eating, and you have to wait 30 minutes after you're eating. Well, I was a big drinker with liquid through my meals. So that has changed. That's been hard, actually. And then immediately you have to start back on those liquids to get 64 ounces in a day, even though 3 times a day you lose in an hour and a half. And it's all having to be recorded and marked off and everything to make sure you're doing it correct. And y'all, I'm trying to do this by the letter. Absolutely by the letter. And only eating what I'm supposed to eat on that soft foods list that I got, which isn't a lot. And I told them today I was so excited about getting to go to soft foods, but I tell you what, I'm going to be sick of them probably more so than the shakes after a while. But anyway, Tuesday of last week, I did go to my regular doctor and she did blood work. And on Wednesday, I got a call saying, "You are severely dehydrated in fear of kidney failure. You need to get an IV." And so she said, "You can either go to the emergency room or you can go to," and I was getting my fluids in. Except for Monday and Tuesday, I only got 44 ounces. And but the rest, I have always gotten my protein in, and I've always gotten my fluids. So, but I think it was because my stools were still loose. Every day they were loose. And that's been an issue we won't talk about on here, but it's not been good. And so I decided to have uh, Hydrate You from Tulsa. Y'all, I recommend them. Come to my house and give me a bag, an IV saline bag, and I did feel a little better. And I had called the bariatric doctor, and they said, you need electrolytes, start drinking sugar-free Gatorade, blah, blah, blah. Started doing all that. Take Imodium for your bowels. I've done that, and that has helped. Let's see what else. But I'm still not feeling perky and like I did at the beginning. And so I went to the doctor today for my 2.5 week checkup, because I didn't have an appointment until I was 2.5 along. And basically they say I'm on track. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. But just keep doing what I'm doing. They did give me a plant-based, unflavored protein, and they gave me pre-mixed protein shakes. So they say some people can tolerate those better. So I got those today. They did do blood work again to see where everything is. At this point, because of my blood pressure being so low, I've been taken off of all blood pressure meds. And according to what this shows to my regular doctor, will be whether they need to put me on a lower dosage, and put me back on something for now. I am off of, I'm only on one diabetic tablet and only 15 units instead of 30 of my insulin. Things are happening, things are changing. And the doctor said to me that I have to understand that my body is like, is not knowing what to do, and it's losing all this weight so fast, and that it's going to do stuff, it's going to try to figure this out. And I know the risks, and there are risks to any surgery, but the risk, I mean, you can die of a heart attack, you can die of a stroke, you have to be on top of this stuff. You can't just have it, just forget it. I had known of someone who passed away from blood clots after it. This is not taken lightly. This is not something to be taken lightly at all. But as far as risks, I wasn't probably going to live very long anyway if I hadn't done something, or as long, I'll say. But we don't know. We take a risk when we get in our cars to go to the doctor. So right now, my blood pressure is still a little low. I don't know how dehydrated I am still. I just know I felt a lot better after the bag. But I'm not, today, it was all I could do to get in a shower and get dressed for my doctor's appointment. I was out of breath. It wasn't good. And so I know that I'm probably still dehydrated. I'm drinking like crazy. I'm doing everything they're telling me to do. We just got to get this loose bowel and the blood pressure under control. And that's been my journey. Now, I will tell you, it is so weird when they tell you that you can have like string cheese, and you can have deli ham. So, oh, one of my first things was, oh, I could not wait. And I sat and I rolled that up, 2 bites. And you're still doing dime-sized bites, 2 bites, and I couldn't eat anymore. We have wasted so much food. The only thing that I can eat a full container of is yogurt. I've built up enough to where I can eat the whole thing of yogurt. That will be something I'll get tired of real quick, I know. But it is amazing how you just can't eat that much. You just can't. And tonight, there is a famous recipe that all bariatric patients look forward to doing, and it's called a ricotta bake. And it's basically sugar-free pasta sauce with an egg and ricotta cheese, and then you bake it, and it kind of is like a lasagna, but there's no carbs at all. And so Van made that for me tonight. I ate about a fourth of a piece, and I heard him in there going for seconds. So it's different. They say it gets better each time, and I'm looking forward to that. But it's amazing. I think she said I had lost 22 pounds today. I can't remember. It was like they were proud. So, but like I said, mine is mostly for health reasons, and I just wanted to hopefully travel and see the world. And thank goodness for my Scentsy business, so I can do that. So anyway, if you have questions, put it in the comments, and I'll try to answer you. But it is a journey, and keeping my log and trying to figure out how many carbs. I can't have carbs, can't have sugar. But I meant how many proteins, how many fluids. Right now they're concentrating strictly on proteins. Once I build up to be able to eat 2 ounces of meat, of the lean meat, then I can add starchy vegetables already. But I haven't gotten to that yet because I'm already full, and it is a weird sensation for someone who loves food. But I just wanted to update everybody and let them know what kind of journey I've really been on. Wish me luck. Say prayers.